Aloha! Good morning, my dear friends. I love you, and it might be nighttime where you're at. I'm making this video. Oh, by the way, that would be considered lava bomb. Those pieces of lava, and then there's coral. And the waves are so strong, they pushed them up here. Or someone put them there to stop erosion. Anyway, I'm making this video for people who have lost loved ones. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the spirit world and some of the things that people go through when they're grieving. My brother was killed 050505, and I stayed in the anger stages of grieving for 5 years, and then I did oil painting. You can look it up under My Brother and Me Are Free. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the spirit world and what goes on there. I read a book called From Here to Tomorrow and Back Again. I have to be a little careful. This isn't the safest place to be, but there are people around that can watch over me. And this man, he had been accepted to be go to military school to be a doctor. And when he did that, he hurried to go catch the train, and he left his body. And when he left his body, he didn't know it until he went through a pole, and he could go right through him. So he went back to find his body, and he'd never seen himself in a 3-dimension. He had been in an infirmary in the army. He saw a body, because everybody looked, they all looked the same. When he saw this one body had a sheet pulled over it, the hand sticking out had his class ring on it. So he laid on the sheet because he couldn't move it. And there's his spirit laying on top of his body, and there's a sheet between him and his body. And he looked at the light to the right of him, and Jesus came to him and said, "What would you do if I give you more time on earth?" And he said, he thought, and it wasn't talking, it was mind-to-mind communication. And he said, in his mind, he thought he was going to get a boat and a house and a car and all this stuff and become a doctor and be wealthy. So Jesus said, "Come with me," and he chose to go with Jesus. And Jesus showed him people that were surrounded by myriads of beings. They were involved in war, acts of war and murder and bloodshed. And the myriads of beings with their backs towards them, kind of like a big square, was, you could not see what they were doing, but these spirits delighted in war and murder. The next place that Jesus showed him was another place, and this was a dark place too, but the myriads of beings back to back around spirits that were involved in acts of sexual immorality. And he couldn't see them, but the Savior, the way that he explained it to him mind to mind. Then he went by this bar, and they were in this bar, and this man had been drinking, and he passed out. And when he passed out, this other spirit got in him, went right in him, because the aura broke open. And I'll tell you more about that at the end of this story. Then Jesus took him by a factory where people were outside lighting their cigarettes. And a person that wanted cigarettes in the spirit world Oh, by the way, the guy in the bar kept grabbing for the drink, but he couldn't get it. Okay, so and I read this book in 2 hours, from here to tomorrow and back again. Okay, when my mother was in the process of dying, and the Red Cross had called me home, and my little girls were just tiny, and my son had not been born. So that's over 40 years ago, 41 years ago. Anyway, and my sister gave me the book, and I'm glad she did. And I did not read a book in 2 hours, but I did. It helped me to be in tune with other people that were going through this process. I mean, my dad was in total denial. The Red Cross had called me to go home, said she would get one more shot. She had cancer of the pancreas and liver for 3 years. She even came over and visited my children when they were blessed at our church. And also, I had to take care of things on the spiritual end, being the oldest of my siblings. And it was not fun at all, but some of it was fun. They buried her in a pink, well, that's another story. We'll finish that story later. What I wanted to share with you is that the people that were smoking, the spirits in the spirit world, were trying to grab their cigarettes. So it's obvious that whatever we are addicted to on this earth is what we will want when we pass. And I don't know how long of a duration these spirits go through this, but I do know that the same missionary work that has been established by the way, we're at Pokai Bay, and that we're looking eastward, but I'm on the west side. These are volcanoes. All of those ledges hanging out are where volcano is, where the lava advanced. Most of them have lava tubes, and they store water in them, aquifers. It's just natural. And so, and that's the Heiau. I could take you for a walk up there while I finish the story. Maybe another day. I don't like to go up there too early in the morning because there's a lot of people that live on the beaches. You can see their baskets and stuff over there. And so we like to try, I'm going to try and not make you dizzy by moving too fast. One of the community. By the way, I am going to try and go live. I need 500 subscribers, so if this is helping you, please subscribe and like. Leave me a comment. I really appreciate it. And my husband works, and my children are all in different places, and my grandchildren, only 3 are on the island. So you keep me company. You help me keep going. And that's what friends are for. That's what brothers and sisters are for. So anyway, that's what I was going to share with you, is that in the spirit world, the same missionary work goes on that does here. It says in the scriptures, why baptize for the dead if the dead rise not at all? We do baptism for the dead, and when a person has been dead for 1 year, you can put, so we say deceased, you can put their name in any temple and have their work done. It's up to them to accept it or not, but that's what the temples for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are for. Baptisms are taking place in our chapels for the living. And it's done by proxy. It's sacred in the temples, not secret. And Mormon and his son Moroni compiled the records of the people on the American continent. So if you're a native in any way of the Americas or the Polynesians, you are direct descendants to Nephi and Lemon and Lemuel and Samuel. And they go back to Jerusalem, and God tells Lehi to take his family and leave. I'm not here to convert you, because I don't do that. The Spirit of the Lord does. Well, I smell smoke. There's somebody over there. I gotta go. I'll finish the story later. I love you. Bye.